Hello everyone, and welcome to my bold and beautiful official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Taylor walked into the chief's suite at Forrester Manifestations and inquired as to whether either Carter or Edge had seen Thomas. Edge made sense of that Brooke had gone to converse with Thomas about Liam and Trust's relationship. Taylor shared that Thomas had educated her regarding what had occurred in Rome and how she was feeling much better that everybody realized Trust had started the kiss. Taylor still feared that the Logan women would bring Thomas down in some way and find a way to put blame on him. Carter decided to leave the office at the right time. Ridge asked jokingly if he could also leave. Whenever Carter had left the room, Edge inquired as to whether she genuinely felt that Brooke or Trust could attempt to nail the fault to Thomas. Taylor conceded that she did and stressed that what had occurred in Rome may be a trigger for Thomas to lose the faith. "I would rather not see the Logans damage Thomas," Taylor said briskly. Ridge argued that nobody had any intention of harming Thomas. Taylor stressed that the alleged basic kiss among Thomas and Trust could reignite the fixation that Thomas had once had for Trust. Edge demanded that he confided in Thomas and accepted that Thomas had changed. Taylor shared a comparative conviction, yet she said that she had no faith in Trust or Brooke. Edge said he was sure that after a smidgen of time, everybody would disregard Trust and Thomas' kiss by the Colosseum. Taylor lacked Ridge's self-assurance. Liam received Chinese food from Wyatt when he returned to Spencer Publications. Liam said that he had not returned home since he had needed to deal with some business with the organization's Sydney office. Wyatt contemplated whether Liam was burning the midnight oil to try not to need to converse with Trust. Wyatt reiterated that Hope was Liam's wife and the woman he loved as Liam drank from a coffee mug. The two siblings took a seat at the gathering table to eat their food. Wyatt inquired if Liam could find Hope a little bit of compassion and forgiveness. Liam stated that he needed to return to work after putting down his chopsticks. Whenever he had chilled off a little, Liam said thanks to Wyatt for paying special attention to him. Liam admitted that he wanted to be able to forgive Hope, but he was unable to do so because he kept picturing Thomas kissing Hope. Wyatt inquired as to whether Liam was ready to obliterate as long as he can remember over a solitary kiss. Wyatt then inquired if Hope had kissed some random Italian guy, and Liam would have been able to ignore it. Liam said that he would have. Liam inquired as to why, everything being equal, Trust had expected to kiss Thomas. Shrugging, Wyatt guaranteed that Trust likely didn't have the foggiest idea why she had kissed Thomas. Wyatt rehashed that Trust cherished Liam, not Thomas, and he requested Liam to excuse Trust. "This is fantastic, you and Thomas," Brooke yelled. Brooke continued to rail against what she saw in front of her as Hope hastily pulled the covers over her. "Are you aware that you are married, or have you forgotten?" Brooke snapped indignantly. Trust and Thomas immediately put something on, and Trust attempted to clarify things for her mother. Brooke said that she had dropped by Thomas to express a desire for peace to him. Brooke, who had been looking at Hope, turned around, gave Thomas an icy glare, and said that she was beginning to suspect that Thomas had somehow manipulated Hope. Trust demanded that she had settled on the decision to kiss Thomas and that she didn't lament her choice. Hope, furious, claimed that Liam had left her. Brooke encouraged Desire to continue to battle for Liam and pronounced that Trust laying down with Thomas was a slip-up. Thomas stated that neither he nor Hope had anticipated a physical relationship. Brooke snapped that Thomas should have sent Hope home rather than sleeping with her, as he explained that Hope had become emotional after learning that Liam wanted a divorce. Trust requested that Brooke quit accusing Thomas. Trust yielded that laying down with Thomas so before long could have been shameful. However, she contended that it was too lovely and enthusiastic and heartfelt. Trust growled that Brooke ought to have the option to comprehend what is going on better compared to anybody. Little Miss Trust Logan, excessively great to accomplish something so neglectful, Trust said in a constrained, cutesy voice. Hope claimed that she was experiencing emotions she had never experienced before because she was following her heart. Trust compared her excursion to one that Brooke had gone on such an extremely long time back. Brooke said she didn't need Trust emulating her example. Brooke reported that Expectation and Thomas were to fail to remember that anything had occurred between them. Brooke instructed Hope to return home to Liam and her children. Wipe it from your minds and from your memories. This issue closes today, Brooke snapped. Trust cleared a detach from her cheek as Thomas peered down at the floor. Steffi updates Finn on what occurred with her sibling. Wyatt inquires as to whether he can excuse, and Trust lets Thomas know this is all on her. After claiming that Liam wanted Steffi once more and telling Hope he couldn't forgive her, she ran into Thomas' arms. Trust embraces Thomas at his place and tells her all will be well. Because her husband saw her kiss him in Rome, she claims it won't. She ventures back and says everybody cautioned her. She kissed Thomas because he was Liam's biggest fear. Presently her entire world is topsy-turvy, a direct result of what she did. He's certain Liam will deal with it. She has always accepted his errors. Trust says this is different in light of the fact that it's him, and that was a definitive double-crossing. He now wants to divorce. She assures Thomas that this is all her fault, and Thomas is sorry. I kissed you, she expresses, investigating his eyes with shuddering lips. She doesn't need him feeling remorseful. He rationalizes her and says he ought to have stayed away. Trust concedes she's been battling her craving to be near him. She doesn't figure out it, however, gave in knowing the dangers. There must be a problem with her. He can't acknowledge that. She believes that she has destroyed her family, but why? Thomas tells her she committed one error, and that doesn't detract from every one of the great things she's finished. Trust lets him know that Liam needs Steffi once more. Old news and dance. She gets the impression that she is the only woman in the world whenever she is with Thomas and he looks at her. She will always remember their kiss because of this. Crawling nearer to him, she says Liam needs Steffi and she needs a man who just needs her. I need you, she says, kissing him. Wyatt shows up in the Spencer office and is astounded that Liam is there. At the point when his sibling is quiet, he summonses things went seriously with Trust. Swallowing some espresso, Liam says his significant other apologized. Wyatt inquires whether he can forgive her. Liam would need to comprehend her motivations. She can't make sense of it, and that panics him. He is reminded by his brother that they have been through this before. Liam says it could be a reality that he can't confide in her any longer. He can't continually stroll around contemplating whether his better half is undermining him. He continues to want a divorce. Wyatt expects she doesn't. Liam makes sense as she was battling for one more opportunity right away. His brother inquires whether he has considered the divorce thoroughly. This is not what Liam wants. There's really nothing that the marriage can't get by, however. Thomas, his better half, obviously cares deeply about him. After having sex, Hope tells Thomas that she is her true love. RJ and Wyatt tell Liam to forgive Hope, and Shayla wishes she could be with Deacon Thomas. Deacon Thomas tries to resist Hope, but she takes off her ring and drags him to bed for sex while Shayla gets a visitor. At Thomas's house, they continue to have sex in the glow of a candle. Subsequently, the two hold tight as Trust concedes she's thought about this a larger number of times and she ought to say. Thomas looks at her as she says her creative mind wasn't close by anyone's standards to the genuine article. She kisses him as she leans in to say something. She goes on to say that this is absolutely not her. She never anticipated this, despite the fact that she mulled over everything frequently. When Hope mentions her mother's track record, Thomas asks her if she feels like she's making a mistake at the moment. Hope gets out of bed and admits that she regrets the way she hurt Liam. She then asks how this could be a mistake when the love they have for one another feels so natural. Trust claims Thomas is the person who can finish her plans, considerations, and sentences as though he truly knows her, and it can't be off base. She demands this must be correct and kisses him once more. Thomas can't quit considering how Trust is a decent individual and his thought process of him as yet being a miscreant. Trust revises him and notification every one of the positive changes he's made. She concurs he is solid-willed and stubborn, but at the same time he's delicate, inventive, kind, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. She sees that he is steadfast also. Trust cries when he recognizes that as being valid. She places her head on his exposed chest because she loves that part of him more than he will ever know. She feels so free having the option to tell Thomas anything and not as though she will be judged. She couldn't talk to her husband that way, and Thomas is baffled. Trust perceives Liam was constantly gotten between two ladies, and she's rarely completely failed to remember that. She's constantly considered what it might be want to take care of business where she was the one to focus on. She feels that way because of Thomas. He causes her to feel needed, appreciated, regarded, and cherished. Wyatt tries to get his brother to go to his wife and tell her he loves and forgives her at Spencer Publications. He insists that if Liam does not act now, he will regret this. Yet again Liam is helped to remember how Expectation pardoned him for his previous mishaps, and he ought to do likewise for her. When Liam insists that Wyatt was unable to end the relationship because it was with Thomas, Wyatt declares that he did so permanently. RG interferes with the two and illuminates them. Trust is crushed and Liam essentially should accept her back. He perceives Liam's aggravation and the difficulty of him simply failing to remember what he saw. That is something Liam agrees with. RG demands that his sister will successfully fix this and encourages Liam to battle for his marriage. Trust adores just him and Liam loves her as well, comparably much. Wyatt concurs, and the two of them ask Liam not to leave for one mistake. Liam wonders if they've ever had to deal with the woman they love betraying the man she knows will destroy them both. RG reminds him in the event that anybody can make it happen, it's Liam. He tells Liam that if he listens to his heart, it will always lead him back to hope. Wyatt claims that he owes it to both himself and his children. They keep on bothering Liam and request him to go to her currently before it's past the point of no return. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any updates.